Os,
What was
everyone. Welcome back to the Kyokushin Shuffle, the Japan Chronicles. And what a cool episode we have coming up. Shihan Sean, how are you?
good, mate? Yeah, finally getting over all the happenings of last week.
Happenings, that's a good word. Happenings, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Sure.
yeah.
That's a great word. Hey, fantastic to see you. But on this special day, April 26th, is the 30th year anniversary / passing to our founder of Kyokushin Karate. So a big us, Shihan Sean, a big
Us,
us to Sosai
us, us,
Oyama
us.
on this special day. And no doubt many of you around the world will be doing some form of training, whether it's at the dojo, whether it's at home, whether it's outside. We reflect and we definitely pass our, love, support, energy, considerations to the Oyama family for what this man has done for millions, Shihan Sean, not millions, if not tens of millions. And under the what's the word? The one person that
Yeah.
controlled one group, and at an estimate of nearly 10 to 12/15 million was the number that was projected back in
At that one stage. Yeah, exactly.
yeah. So how
Yeah, yeah. No, I started off this morning recognizing what day it was and the meaning it has, and found myself thinking, well, what can I do to honor Sosai? And I
yeah,
thought,
right.
well, I got up and before everyone else was awake in the world, in my neighborhood anyway, and
Yep.
there's an empty plot next to our house, so I did kanku out there. I just
Wow.
thought it was a nice reference to Sosai because he'd put so much into that. And as
Yes.
I found myself coming up here, to me that was kind of a way of connecting with him. Hopefully he
Yeah.
was looking back at through me, as I
Yeah,
came up
sure.
and
Sure.
at the different stages it's done in kanku anyway, but I just thought it'd be a nice way to remember him and show appreciation for what he's done. So yeah, it's hard to believe it's been 30 years. So much has gone on since then, but we keep pushing forward. So yeah, it was,
When I started this chat, this passion
mm,
project, I was fortunate to have a couple of episodes on the anniversary. And I'm not sure if I'm into my third, fourth year on this. I don't keep tabs on it, but I think this is our first one together in having a chat
mm,
about this. And, we were extremely fortunate to have you in Japan on the weekend. And in just taking the floor for a couple of minutes here, we shared with everyone, the trip that was approaching. But until you get there, and until things start to take effect, we have a couple of days. We get there on a Thursday evening. We head to Sosai's grave as a group. The Australian team had a contingent of nearly 25 to 30 of us that stayed at Ikebukuro at the Metropolitan, and we head our way to train to Sosai's grave. And normally there are other countries potentially on presence there, and you have a moment, but then you kind of don't want to get in front of others and stay too long because there's another party or people around. Well, I'll
yeah,
be damned. When we got there, Shian, no one there. And
right.
normally the grave has either been freshened up with flowers or someone may have been present before us and cleaned it up. This time around, it was open to us for at least an hour. And an hour meaning, respectfully, we're there as a team once every 3-4 years, and I hadn't been there for a while. So every trip we pay our respects to Sosai, but there is an etiquette around it. And Hunchy Eddie one time showed us how we have to clean it, make sure
Yeah.
everything's tidy. Then we have our prayer moment. And there was a lot of the Australian team that had never been to Japan, have never experienced that before. So it was very moving, very touching.
Mm,
Um,
mm,
I have my moment of once everyone else was done with theirs, because I wanted them to experience it. I don't need to block anything. And some of us
yeah,
others that have
yeah,
seen it don't need to either block their way. Let them experience it. And then once everyone left, I had my moment. And some wrote to me saying, "What do you do when you're there, or what have you done?" I say a massive blessed and thank you, a gratitude to
mm,
him.
mm,
Um,
mm.
many others have gods and religions and people that they have lost and they look up to. I never met the man, but when you have a picture of him in your dojo for 25 years and you bow to him and you thank him, Sosai Nore, and you acknowledge him, got a tingle there, and you've got to have to say to yourself, well, why am I looking up to this person? Why is he connected with me? Why am I connected with him? And I have that moment just at the gravesite where I did it at Bruce Lee's gravesite, where I said, thank you. Thank you for upholding what you uphold. Some things I do follow, some things I don't follow, but some things I've needed in my life that have helped me as a father, as a student, as a teacher, and it just keeps going, and and I'm talking in my head here, guys and girls. I'm not reading anything. I'm just like, thank you for this moment. And before you know it, it's a minute of just saying a reflection, and then you're there going, okay, we've got business to take care of now. So have you had a chance to go to his grave?
Sure. Oh, yeah, a few occasions. Been involved in a few memorial sort of gatherings at Hombu over the years, going to the grave, etc. And it's quite, I think it's quite timely the way you reflect. When we show our respect to Sosai in the dojo, when we say Sosai ni de, this word there is actually quite a deeply structured word. A lot of people tend to think it's a command for a bow,
right?
But the bowing part of it doesn't mean bow, because there's a different word for bowing in Japanese. De itself is part of a word called degi, which refers to etiquette.
I see.
Gratitude, respect. I think it's something that's commonly shared amongst all Budo, the concept of de, and what it comes down to, and what you've just explained quite well, is that we take that moment. The bowing is the physical gesture we do,
I see.
but it's the meaning behind it. And it's, we could translate it as showing gratitude, showing respect, courtesy, and all of those things it encompasses. But what you've done is actually a common practice in Japan for any grave visit. They call it hakamairi in Japanese. Haka means grave. Mairi is a kind of a polite, humble term to refer to go to. And it's a compound word, and it means visiting a grave. And usually what happens in the summer is when there's a sort of it depends, it's roughly a week-long holiday, recognizing a time to welcome back it might be linked in a way. It's quite common if you look at Mexican culture. They have a certain time of year where they
Dia de los Muertos,
the spirits of the dead. Yeah.
Dia de los
So
Muertos.
it's kind of like that here in Japan, right? And so people usually go to a grave and they clean it up and they take flowers, and it's not just once a year. They can go whenever they like.
Yeah.
But what they do is, they put their hands together, they close their eyes,
Correct.
and they do what you just did. They either, to the people that they're remembering at that stage, it's a chance for them to catch up. Right. And the way you chose to catch up was to thank him for what he created for us.
Yes.
And some people, I see on social media today that Midori Shihan is there at the moment, and he's got his flowers and cleaning the grave.
Well, it's nice and clean.
You can see him standing there, and what he'll be doing is what the first thing, like you did, is thanking Sosai.
Yes.
But he'll probably take a couple of extra seconds or a minute to catch him up on what he's been doing. And so that's what it's about. It's not a prayer as much as a time to communicate and time to connect. And so you've done it perfectly.
Gotcha.
There.
Yeah, I did mention, I said the kids and I said my wife, you say things like that.
Yeah.
Kids are good, and I now got 3. And last time I was here, I only had 1 or 2. I don't know.
Got a huge mortgage and a brand new house.
I've got a debt coming out of my ears, and I could hear is also.
What did you do in your day? Yeah.
How'd you deal with this madness?
Yeah.
So very special. And again, when we say happy, we respectfully say happy anniversary to Sosai on this day, and we reflect. And all of us should continue to put these awesome social media posts. I have one I'm about to do later that I just absolutely adore, with him talking at Hombu. It just hit it every time I've watched it over the last 20 years. It just hits me. So I'll be sharing that a bit later.
Excellent.
Shihan, we got the chance to catch up. And by Jingoes, does it? We say catch up to everyone out there. Shihan Sean is in, Shihan Sean is out, and then I'm in, and then I'm out. And we kind of play the, we'll catch up a little bit later. Then Shihan Sean gets dragged by my Shihans and Kyoshi Jimmy. We need to chat. And we caught up. We had a little brief catch up after, on one of the dinner nights when Shihan just got into Tokyo. And my job then has to be to head back to the hotel, because you let the bosses and Shihan catch up. And they need to get their bearings on things. So we had our chance to connect, but then to be brutally honest, time flies, and we head to the tournament. So we're all on the bus. For those, I said to Shihan Sean, let's recap a little bit here to give people some insight around it, and then we'll get into detail. So we are told to meet at 7 a.m. on the tournament day to head to the venue. And again, 30, 40 of us on the bus. We head to the venue, which says it could take about an hour, give or take transportation and so on. And we clock the time, and we're there in 35 minutes, 40 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
The venue, unfortunately, is closed. So us Aussies, they're ready to go for a 9 o'clock check-in. We're way ahead of time. And then all of a sudden, that momentum of everyone getting excited, getting to the venue just drops. Now, been there, done that, meaning, it is what it is. And I have that attitude of, oh, well, we'll just hang around and have a walk around. We should be fine. And then we get into it. And then before you know it, it's 9 o'clock. And then Shihan Sean, your part of your world just bang, there's Shihans flying everywhere. The table that you see where all the Shihans are at, Shihan Sean has to run the floor, I call it, right?
Yeah. Make sure everyone else is happy. I may have the title of Shihan, but I'm pretty low down on the ladder there. And it was a matter of catching up, and it was. I mean, the great thing about this tournament, I would say, is that it's the second unified All Japan champs. You had the union reps, you had different faction representatives there. It was a chance for me to catch up with them. Of course, Kyoshi Jimmy and Billy Shihan wanted to pass on their regards and do a quick catch up. A lot of the time, and we talked about this last episode, they speak the language of Kyokushin. That's their common language. And so I didn't have to interpret word for word on a lot of occasions, but when it got into some, deep diving on both sides and that, I was called over left, right, and center. And then you had the organizer saying, yeah, we've got some interpreters for the day, but this isn't in the script. Can you jump on the microphone? So it was a bit of a headless chicken sort of moment for most of the day. But then there were the down times where I got to sit down or make my own way around the floor and catch up with people, and where I could support you guys when you were going on for your fights. I didn't want to get in the way because, you had your team going. But where I saw an opportunity, I go up and just
absolutely. And let me just
give words with each person.
Let me just give you some kudos on that, because again, we had moments to chat, but not about this side of things for listeners. That's why we're catching up. But I really, really appreciated you just swinging by when you swung by, because there's a lot of nerves, there's a lot of emotions. We take these things for granted, Shihan, and I'm recognizing it and bringing it up more and more in our chats and with students going, you now have to start to appreciate this roller coaster, and everyone has different means. Now, I respectfully mean this to those that have anxiety, right? It's a word that is strongly used now in respect of people's emotions. Now, I'm very fortunate I don't fall in that category, but maybe I do in some way, the spectrum of some way. Now, my anxiety was cleared off by the team. We had a great team. So we had people going left forward. And then we had you as a gesture of, hey, because you could have come over. I knew your security of going, hey, just a heads up, this is happening. Or, hey, just a heads up, you guys need to just wait. And it's like, oh, great to know. Good to know. That reassurance was there. So I didn't have that type of where my fighters, the fighters from our dojo and our team were starting to get that Nathan Phillips, who, congrats to Nathan, top 8 in the All Japan.
Yeah.
He
Yep.
hates waiting, so he walks around with his youthful experience, because, and he's like, I hate waiting. And it's like, I go, so then I head towards him and say, channel that energy, brother. It's great energy. Try and bottle it up. That waiting is not taking away your energy. It's going somewhere. Then I've got Senpai Michelle, who hasn't fought in Japan since 1999. She's now sensei. She's 50 odd years old. She fought in the first women's world tournament, or second. So she hasn't fought in an international tournament for that long. And then her energy, and she's our mum of the group, so then she's, not needing it. We're a team. So I said to everyone, you come to us if you need some tap on the back, a bit of an encouragement, a walk to the left. So all these things are happening, Shihan. And then, your presence comes over at the right moment, right time. Like you said, you didn't disturb. I didn't see it in any means of that manner. It was always just, you're part of the team, you're to the left, ANZ means Australia, New Zealand. We're all brothers. We're all needing each other. So much appreciated to you for, again, the pat on the back, the tap on the butt, the tap on the shoulder.
Leave it all out on the floor, little expression here and there. No, and I think, and that's what I really was impressed with by the other Shihans that were representing Australia too, and Kyoshi, of course, is they weren't in the team's face. They weren't running over, and that they're the role models that you really learn from, is the way they conduct themselves. They left it up to you.
They did.
As the person facilitating the team. They had different words of wisdom when they felt it was absolutely needed, but they never interrupted the team sort of spirit or focus. And they were there if someone needed to vent or to ask for advice, but they weren't smothering you, which was great. I mean, I learned again from those two. And the Shihans there, Shihan Lance and Colin and Trevor. Just their demeanor, just, being there was all that was needed. And I think it was a great team spirit and effort shown, and everyone was very respectful. So kudos goes back to the whole team, including
appreciate
myself.
it. Well, we get cracking into these fights, and like all Japan's or World Cups, to be honest, I was expecting more of an international presence. Now, there was a good international presence, but more meaning, shit, this isn't the World Cup. I kind of was like, shit, this is just the All Japan. You get selected and invited via your peers, and you can enter in, and then you can get the yay or nay. We were fortunate. We had a strong presence across different divisions. So we had 2 in heavyweights, 3 in veterans, including myself. And so we had a busy day, which I love. I love that. Let's go. So we were first up, and fight 1, fight 7, fight 30, just for everyone to understand. So there's gaps in between. And then we had some good results, and we had some results that we questioned. Now, I shared my bout. I don't share it as I'm pissed off. I don't play that card. I never have. I put it up as we were in it. As you can see, doesn't go our way. We have to do various things that everyone is obvious to every time we compete over there. We have to dominate. We cannot just be good enough. It isn't enough. And these, I guess, bouts that get down to the crunch. So I'll just walk through quickly just so people understand. We had 38, 39 in my division. We got to cull that down to 32. So there is 3 or 4 fights in round 1 that clear that cull, that allow it to progress to round 32 quick and easy. So I had a bye round 1, and that's the nature of the beast. Could have been up, but that's what it is. It wasn't you didn't get to fight round 1. So be it. That's just what it is. We moved to round 2. I moved to round 2, and I'm up on there. I hadn't seen my opponent yet, and I was told he was injured. So I was like, beautiful. Not my problem. You bow us. You get awarded the win. You're fresh. Let's move into round 3. So here I am going, shit, I've never been to a round 3 now. I've always got to the round 2 and lost or done a draw. So I'm like, I really wanted to win. I really knew comfortably that there was no anxiety of like, oh shit, you see these fighters, they're exceptional goddamn fighters, whether it's in veterans or not. Everyone's solid enough up to the round 3 stage. You're close to the 6th. I was in 16th, right? You're in the 16th group. So you go in a quarters if you win. And I hadn't had that chance before. I deep down don't express, I really want to win this. I'm just there going, right, I saw what he was capable of. He was last year's winner. When you came up to me, you went, oh, is that the guy? Oh, shit. And again, that was great that you told me that, because I went, well, shit, all right. I hadn't known, we're naive. I don't look at the record and go, hey, oh, how tall is he? What's his weight? I couldn't give a shit. I don't care. I'm very fortunate. I don't need to worry about that shit. And I was like, okay. Last year's winner, is that right? And you were like, yeah, he's pretty good. And pretty good. Just watch out for these things. You gave me the tips. I went, Roger that, let's go. And we went full steam and we had a good crack. He was stronger than me. I felt that from the get-go. His legs were stronger, his chest was stronger, and I don't shy away from it. I crack into it, but I'm like, okay, he's a forward game player. I like that player because I circle a lot. I will determine the range. If you want to play forward, I'm not going to go like this. Never. I'm 84 kilos. He's 94 kilos. I felt that instantly. I was like, oh shit.
Right.
Good problem. But I don't want to be in this conversation, because a lot of those were happening during the day and they were getting awarded to the Japanese because they were just quality, in their
they're infighting game and they know how to build up and well, I mean, I guess, and this goes back, in Japan, if you want to win, you got to dominate, and that means mat control. Looking at your fight, I mean, I think you went in with an excellent plan. You fought well. You didn't. I think you paced yourself brilliantly. You built up the intensity. You were playing the Japanese game, actually. You were scoring your shots. I should say, you're landing your shots, and they weren't one shot here, one shot there. They were good combinations. Like you say, you were circling.
Yeah.
That was frustrating him. I could see him getting frustrated.
Yeah.
Okay, the result went his way because, the guy deserves an Oscar. Sorry, I'll say it as I see it.
Yeah.
He thinks he got knocked on the chin, but if you look at the footage, he didn't. But he knew how to play the game.
Yep.
Kudos to him. He knew how to drag the judges in just the right time. But if we reflect on that another way, he had to pull everything out to win that fight. It wasn't an easy fight. And you guys, had that Oscar-winning performance not come about, it would have gone to an extension. So you know what I mean? So you've got to take the positives away from that.
Oh, and again,
and the rest is what if, or the rest is we don't know because it didn't happen. But kudos to you for the way that was a brilliant fight to watch. I enjoyed every second.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it was great. I loved it. And there was I don't get butterflies. I don't get nerves. And it's not an ego talk. That's just, and then I was explaining to my wife and those that are not a non-Kyokushin. And I go, guys, we trained our asses for this. This is a combination of the 50 rounds I did. I could have gone on donuts for another year. I could have been like, it's done. I wanted to progress. I wanted to continue that, maintain that level. Everyone that's listening that comes to our 50 rounds once a month, there's a whole bunch of monsters in that in my dojo that want to get better, want to challenge each other. Then I've had to train there's a lot of work, and I could bore you to tears with it. So when you feel ready and when you feel confident, he slid one my Gary, like it went fucking whoosh straight past me. And I didn't feel it until it came back. Like it had gone. Right. I didn't see it, and then it came back, and he did like that type of move.
Yeah.
Indicates,
and you went no.
And I went, bro, and in the Western way, I'm like, it went past me. And now, did I move my head? Maybe I did. Just in that shit moment. Yeah. Had I not, he breaks my face. He breaks my nose. It's his whole foot just went.
Yeah, but there was a couple of similar ones where you'd almost landed similar.
Well, I tried my flick kick.
The flick maigiri that you do.
I got him on the first one. Like got him as in, and now for those playing along, I ain't playing no Jodo Mawashis anymore. Never could, never will. I can do that inside thigh snap release beautifully. I love playing that. I do a gidan, my leg comes back, and I use that momentum to come back.
Bang, bang.
And it went like this. It kind of hit him there. All I wanted was that moment of a, oh,
Yeah.
fuck. And then I can play the, oh,
Yeah.
so I missed it. Nothing. He didn't flinch. He fucking just, and that's why I was shitty, because I'm like, shit, he's strong. And then when I punched, here, I did a late left or whatever it was, and it hit him there. He did a, oh, like that. And I was sportsman-like going, oh, you must be shitting me. We just went toe to toe. We had a great bout, and now you've done that. So he lost my respect in that, because it was like, dude, we kicked the shit out of each other. We just went for it. And now you went like as if I threw a sledgehammer at you. It was just the last seconds of us going at it.
You caught him here, mate. Yeah, I mean, but anyway,
and it
just shows you win at all costs. And the guy is a veteran.
Yeah, he's been around
tournament veteran himself. To repeat the expression, he's been in these tournaments. So I mean, but it's a learning experience, and I mean, the what ifs are, what if there was a better balance of judges, both Japanese and non-Japanese, whatever. We can go into that, and maybe that's a topic for another episode. But
so
you deal with what's the deck, the hand you've been given. You did nothing wrong. You did everything right. Yeah. And the result was the result. We move forward, don't we? So.
Yeah. And then again, for those, when I debrief myself, because I like to debrief with the students, my debrief was, I'll be back. I'll find a way to get back. There were others in the draw that I was comfortable in, like, oh geez, if I had lined up with that guy, I would have got. So I used that energy. I call it bottling. I was saying, you got to bottle that energy. Where am I going to find it? That's good. And I was like, out of all those, top 8 guys, I knew 4 I could work easily with and potentially get a win. So at 43,
well, I mean, it's interesting because on the whole, because everyone from the Australian team represented Australia so well, and I didn't mention this while you guys were here, because everyone was still dealing with the post-tournament emotions, and so it was a chance for everyone to talk about what they felt about the day. But I talked with a few Japanese, Shihan and other people that were watching the bouts, and the consensus was, and I can say this now because it's all done and dusted.
Yeah.
They were saying, oh, Aussies put a good team together.
Nice.
They're one to watch out. And in all divisions, that was they just said they smell it. The word they use is they just smell of old Kyokushin. They just get up, they do the business. So that's a compliment in itself. And now you guys have got a target on your back, because you're not just making up the numbers.
Beautiful.
They see the strength, of that team as an expression of the quality of Kyokushin coming out of Australia. Gotcha. So everyone should hold their heads up high. And, if that drives people to give it another go, because, the different divisions have a wider range of ages, so it doesn't mean it's a one-off thing.
No.
Then good. Or if those stories are filtered down to other people and they think, well, I can hold my own with that person too in the dojo, so maybe I could give it a crack.
You're right.
If it motivates people, then, it's been worth its weight in gold, hasn't it? So.
Well, appreciate that. And again, we're highlighting obviously a bit of mine, but, we were fortunate that some of the other guys, our top guys was Nathan Phillips, Kyoshi's son. Brief summary there. Did great in his first round. Had a lower rank, but took care of the right means at the right time. No injuries to progress into the second round. Went to the second round. Really did a good job. Lifted his game again. Offered his variety of axe kick, knee, chudan maigeris. Did everything that he needed to do, and that's such a promising side of things as a sideline coach, in just going, hey, and I told him when he got off the mat, I go, just keep bottling that up. You're going to need it back again, and you're on point. Then he came up against a quality fighter, a quality strategic fight that again, the smaller Japanese fighters have their means against the taller Westerners and stick into them really tight. And he stuck into Nathan that again, Nathan moved well, did everything we needed him to do. But the debrief from Soshi Hasegawa the day after in the lobby when you came in a bit later was Nathan may have thrown a couple of high kicks that helped the shorter fighter cut in a little bit more. Had he had done a couple of it. Now, Nathan's going 6'4". He's having to keep his punches low for this guy, but this guy just kept smothering him. We felt it was fringe a win, if not a draw. Unfortunately, again, not enough to get the chocolates. That would have given him a top 4. And we were, and I say this openly to everyone to understand how serious we take this. I grabbed Nathan right at the start of that as he was about to go on. And I said, this is the moment where Australia fucks up. This is the moment when we try to get in the top 8, especially in the tournaments I've been to, all respect to others that have done better, where I go, we always find a fucking way to fuck it up. You have got this. You know, I was trying to tell him, you are on, you have got this. You are going to get this. And he's ready. He didn't need me to say it, but I wanted him to go, I'm not going to let that happen to us. And shit, he nearly did, you know, like he did in my eyes, but it was that moment where I go, we always get to this point. Jason Perkinson got to that point in one of the tournaments we were at in Osaka. Judd Reed has gotten to that point in other tournaments, and we're like, oh, we're fucking there, but not.
Yeah.
You know,
but it's how you process that moving forward, you know, looking at the Japanese, you know, the tournaments. And I mean, in the open division, one thing I will say about the Japanese now is they're getting a lot bigger. I mean, that final, one guy was 94 kgs, the other was 100.
Correct weight. 175 centimeters, 178 centimeters. So 5'10".
They're not even 6-footers.
But they're like that wide, and they're that,
and not an ounce of fat on them. But the amazing thing to watch there was just how fast they were too. They weren't just physically strong, but they hadn't lost any speed. And I think, you know, just as a point of reference, if you're fighting in Japan, what that last fighter against Nathan did well, the Japanese fighter, was he analyzed Nathan to a T.
Sure.
And goes, okay, what are Nathan's quirks? What's his fighting style? How can I mentally get in his head by making him uncomfortable and not playing in his range? So there was a lot of thought that went into it. But when you see the Japanese fighting each other, they don't go hell for leather at the start. It's a bit like a Muay Thai fight. They start off sussing each other out. And, you know, you can talk to them afterwards and they'll say, oh, I want to see how strong this person is and, you know, what they like to do in a fight. And so that first minute's that. The second minute of the 3-minute bout is picking up the pace a bit and going for mat control. So they're trying to sort of establish some dominance because that's going to stick in the corner judges and the main ref's head if it's a close decision. And that last minute, and this is just the way they train, that last minute is just, okay, I've sussed out the other person. This is where the combinations come out. I now know what works. I'm just going to land the punches and look to push them or knock them out. And these guys in the final, that was full on
dominant
like that from start to finish. And so, I guess in the future, you know, it's like other sports, get some footage of those fighters, you know, and look at the last year's tournament sort of top 8 and say, okay, analyze that. Okay, so how do we fight that way?
Spot on.
You know,
you're spot on.
They've got a bit of analysis going on, you know?
So. And they're on YouTube, legends. I will get the links up. Matt 1 was live and Matt 2 was live. It was really
live as well. There's about 5 or 6 hours worth of footage for both.
And of course you're going to come across some you know, softer battles, but try and pick those ones near the end and quarterfinal semis. And don't ever forget, for those listening and playing along, they're up to their 5th, 6th or 7th fight for the day. There were a couple of extensions that's why I was happy with some of the extensions. I was like, okay, they're going to push this. They're going to push a couple of extensions here. And then when we thought it was our chance for an extension, piss off, get out of here. And I was like, oh,
and I mean, that's another way of understanding tournaments. Like, what would have happened? And I guess this happens everywhere, you know, depending on how many fighters you got in a tournament, they don't want to piss about at the start. And so they'll get the refs together and say, I want you to make a clear decision, yay or nay. unless it's absolutely toe to toe, no argument that these two need to fight more. You've got to throw out a flag for one or the other. And there would have been that pressure, so in the earlier fights, you've got to dominate as early as possible.
Yeah.
And as you progress, there's more chance for an extension, and that's where your fight sort of management, mat management comes into play. And so that's where that build up over those 3 minutes comes into play.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
yeah, it's just fight management at the end of the day. It's like a professional sport. There's a certain strategy involved, but you've got a couple of other things up your sleeve to bring in when needed. So yeah.
Nice summary, and appreciative of that, because that was on the Sunday. Now, we're fortunate that the international contingent don't need to go to work the next day, and we get to then move on to a sayonara party, which traditionally can turn quite fast and furious with lots of countries, because we're all staying there for a little bit longer. However, the beautiful venue that they hosted it in on that Sunday night was just because there wasn't that many overseas countries, and it wasn't a party feel, because the following day we all had to get up and get ready to, well, some of us
grading.
Great.
Yeah.
Now we end up, we were awake Sunday at 6. We got to bed I think I got to bed at 12:15 a.m. I went for a drink with yourself and Kiyoshi, just at a bar. And I said, I need a bit of a nightcap. I would like to just hang out for a bit, recap, and just had a nice, easy, refreshing drink. And then that helped me get to bed, but I didn't get to bed till 12:15. So a long day, knowing that the next day was going to be a task as well. So how fortunate for us that we then now have to move from, our abode to the home of Hombu, where they were hosting the grading. I bump into you. You had a job prior to the grading. I guess the floor's yours for a couple of minutes to let people know how busy you were as well.
Right. Yeah. So, I'd been asked by Yui Shihan, and again, we can share this in another episode. He'd hired out Hombu. That's probably good while it's still all fresh in my mind. He'd hired out Hombu for the morning. So from 10 until 1. To run a seminar for those on, his interpretations of Sosai's Kyokushin, as he'd been an Uchideshi and he'd been the Dawn Master, and he was actually when they brought out an instructional video in 1990, Sosai asked him to be the model for that. And Yui Shihan refers to him being chosen to that as basically he was the one with the least quirks in his karate. He said, I'm not an exceptional karateka. That's what he says. He's been rather humble. He is.
Sure.
But he didn't have any funny habits or something. And it was pretty stock standard. And he goes, I think that's why Sosai asked, So he would go back over what Sosai had taught him, and he asked me to interpret at that. So we were kind of training, and I was interpreting at the same time, because there was a couple of non-Japanese speakers, some English people who spoke English in the group. So did that for 3 hours. Again, opened my eyes to so much that I will share maybe in the next episode.
Please.
Some good points of reference. So pop by the Metropolitan and see if anyone was hanging about. Saw she was there, you were there. You were all on your phones using Google Translate to I jumped in with a couple of quick translations to help you along, and then went on my way. And then so one turns around, and 1 o'clock
got to 2. You guys got to about 1:45, because we were like,
then we went over time, and then we stretched it to its limit, and then I come running out saying, sorry to keep you waiting, and then you guys were in, and the day began for you. Another day of different challenges, I guess. But the international grading took place, and maybe what was the journey for you that day in the grading?
So the journey for me started 7 years ago when I got my son done. And you gave a bit of a tip in regards to how you got when you got your 5th and 6th, you were like, things change. Well, my world changed in 2017 when I was given my son done, I was like, whoa, shit.
Mm,
It's not a what happens now. You know what happens now. It's
mm,
where do I start?
yeah,
What am
yeah,
I now? What does this
yeah,
mean? All those things came into place. So I've had 7 years, and especially over COVID, and then growing, I had to give myself a moment of, well, I'm not a fighter after 2016. And then
yeah.
I said, well, so there's not a focus on that, but there's a focus on the group under Shihan Billy. There's a focus on the
Mm,
dojo. There's a great bunch of students I've got. I need to work that angle. And then COVID hit, and then I went, I'm going to work on a different angle with the podcast and an ebook. And I
yep,
needed to keep myself sane, because if I hadn't, I would have struggled a lot. I
yep,
kept myself training. Then I did the 50. And so there was heaps of um, goals, accomplishments, and things that just come organically or naturally,
yeah.
however it's worded. But I like to just challenge in whatever capacity. But those things is what led me towards the fourth Dan. And then I see my
Mm,
peers over the last year or two get awarded their fourth and fifth. I'm a lot younger than them. The
mm,
guys I've fought, for those sakes, Luke Argento, Phil Jacobson, these are guys that I look up to because they're a little bit older than me. They were always a grade or two above me, and they were awarded their fourths and so forth, and others going for fifth. Graham Rose is still on
mm,
his fourth. You see those guys and you're like, wow, that, you want to get there. You want to
yeah,
chase, and you want to
yeah.
still hang out. And then, the biggest thing for me was not like put on a good show, not an ego, put on a
Mm,
good show, deliver. Like you
yeah,
got to deliver now.
yeah,
You've
yeah.
had this thing for 7 years. You say your Carters. You've told everyone else the Carters, and now you've got to do 40 rounds. You say you do these 50 rounds. So an expectation of mine was, this is going to be hard. This is going to be tough. Stay switched on, but deliver, because
Mm,
Soshi is
mm,
right there. He
yeah,
is right. He is half a meter off from people there. He's Shihan's. He's seven. Takuma, 3-time world champion. All
yeah.
his heavies are there, watching, scoring, marking. Then we had my masters at the desk as well, my peers.
Mm,
So you're like, when that clicked, when we lined up, they put my
mm,
name as the fourth. And I was like, the drill, you go, oh shit, no, I'm not meant to be here. You've called my name out as the fourth in the line.
mm,
I'm going for my fourth. And they're like, no, shut up. You stay there. And I was
mm.
like, oh, but there's a fourth behind me. And it was like, doesn't matter. That's what it is. So I was like, shit, I'm up the front, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah,
I
yeah,
thought,
yeah.
and then there was a
There-
moment
There's
that
no
I
running away now.
yeah,
Yeah,
and there was a moment that you always hear these so-called social media, influencers in mental mindness go, well, so what? Good. I was
yeah,
like, good. Yeah, I'm at the front.
yeah,
Good. Even more reason to, deliver.
yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
so that took a second or two, and then you then start helping us. So your voice again
Mm,
reassures us, reassures me. I feel comfortable and calm. And then I
mm,
know that I don't need to worry about Dean and Dane and Michelle, my
yeah,
my students, and Billy's students that were going for their sundone. I'm like, you're going for a sundone. I don't need to
yeah,
worry about you now. You know, I don't need to tap you on the shoulder and see how you're going. Nathan went for his sundone. So we had a great squad again that were all together. We stuck together in that back corner area where we went tap on the back, doing okay. And then from 2 o'clock, we get through our Carters. You want to perform great. Xian Gong was next to me from China, who was just sweating it up. And
sweating
I'm like,
bullets.
whoa, if he's going at that rate, do I stay at that rate? I was going at a good rate, but I'm fit. I pride myself on being
Mm,
fit. So I'm like, I
mm.
shouldn't be panting. Why should I be panting? Maybe I should be panting. Should I be panting? Have I done
Yeah, that
that
gets in
harder
your
hard
head,
enough?
doesn't it? Yeah,
Did
yeah, yeah,
potential come out as hard as I think it should? Are they going to go to me? So these things start sliding into your fucking head, and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to do Tensha strong, and Kunku's going to come. And you said, stay in the moment, do that Carter, move on to the next. It's all you
mm,
got to do,
mm,
right? I
mm,
took that in mind as well, because I'm like, there are others around that are ballsing up the Carter, making an error, and then don't
mm,
worry about them. I'm not their teacher. I'm not here to, but
mm.
because I taught for, a year or two helping everyone with their katas, I was ready to go, hey man, you got the wrong hand in the wrong spot. Put your hand in. And it's like, shut up. You don't need to be doing that.
Yeah. Just
And you
focus
kind
on
of, and
yourself.
don't
Yeah.
look around. Because normally I do something and I look around, just, hey, you got to do. And I was like, you're not teaching, you shut up. And I was like, I veered off once maybe. And then I'll tell you one secret. I regrouped on one of the katas. You regroup, you come back. And then they say it in Japanese. I missed it. I didn't hear it. I just had a moment. I was like, ah! And normally in Australia, we go, whoa, what'd you say? I missed it. I didn't hear it. I was like, oh shit. I totally do not know what he said. I don't know what he named out. It was Gengsei Dai. But I was like, fuck, I'm going to start late here. And just fortunately that Gengsei Dai is just, you swivel to the left very quickly. And oh, fuck, I was like, shit, it better not be.
You go into autopilot after that. Yeah. It happens. It happens.
So that was my kata block. And then when it came to Kumite, Shihan Sean, I was my Kiyoshi and Billy were like, come on, a bit more, come on. And I was like, I was focused, man. I was really focused. I wasn't against what they were saying, but I fought a lot of higher belts than me. And I didn't know how hard I should go, how much they should be pushed. I kind of faltered in that. I don't know how hard is too hard against them. I didn't, like they're a higher core high. So should I be putting them down? And I was like, oh shit, just stay on point here because you don't want to push your luck in them going, hey, settle down, mate. You're being a bit of a, you're going too hard, or hey, pick it up a bit. So I hung between the middle there for about the first 20. And then I knew where my capacity was at. And then again, I got pulled over by Kiyoshi with, mate, you can go a little bit more. You kind of go, all right, now you can go a bit more. And I was like, all right, I will. However, there's
I mean, watching it. So, I mean, maybe the good thing about the grading is there are enough numbers on the floor that you could rotate amongst yourselves. I think there are about 20 on the floor.
There was
all up.
18
so there was and they were all, there or thereabouts. There were no slackers. Everyone was trying hard. There were no bad exponents. Like there were no people just, there was no one dragging their feet. They different levels, of technique, of all-round experience. I mean, the newly awarded Godan Shihan from Montreal, Canada, that big guy. Oh, mate. I mean, he used to be a big tournament fighter in his day, and you could just see.
He was fun.
Just the way he fought. And you two were having some good fights. And, you'll suss each other out in the first couple of fights that you had with each other. But then I saw you two naturally picking up the pace with each other. Like you wanted to push each other, but you also wanted to show the grading panel that you two were capable of doing that with respect. But then I think, what I laughed about later on was there was an older guy doing his Godan, I think. And I think it was your last fight. Was it your last fight?
That's where I was hearing all you guys go, just get him. And I went, okay.
And I was standing close to you and I said, don't stop, Pat. Just keep going. Keep going. And this is the difference. Like you would have noticed, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. But I think the difference between gradings in Australia, New Zealand, and in Japan is there's a lot more communication going on from the sidelines overseas. In Japan, there's a bit of cheering and stuff, but there's no advice being thrown out. Like they're very silent. And I mean, that's part of the respect thing. But I thought, no, this is where I put my foreigner hat back on. Because I was speaking English anyway, so I could do that. And I just said to you, because I wanted you to finish. He still had another 10 fights. So I didn't, sorry to say this, I didn't care.
No.
Like he'll have his time to shine or not shine later on. You've got to leave a long-lasting impression with the grading panel. And I thought, mate, just put your foot on the gas and don't let up. And you go, I remember you looking at me going, can I give him a break? Because you were relentless, but it was good. It was a good relentless. And you gained a lot. He showed a lot of respect towards you afterwards because he knew he'd been pushed to his limits. You you'd left everything out on the floor.
Yeah.
And so it's just a great way to finish it, you know. And
Yeah.
again, you have to be a bit selfish because it's,
Mm.
you know, and once the grading's finished, the next thing is, and I mean, I say this all the time and I say it in a different, you know, I've said before, now that you're this grade, what value can you add to it?
Mm.
Just to take a step back, right?
Mm.
Everyone, I congratulate everyone that graded that day. You know, they left it all out there,
Us.
and you know, Australia represented the people, the candidates, did Australia proud with the way
Us.
that they conducted themselves in the grading. Getting that new grade is just the start.
Yeah.
Being it is
Yeah.
what comes next.
Yeah.
What kind of Sundan do you want to be? For you, Pat, you know, and I think we were talking about this. Yondan is a beautiful,
Mm.
beautiful grade to have because, and I think Shihan Billy said it well, and also Kyoshi Jimmy added a few comments that are the
Mm.
same. It's It's an apprenticeship. It's a new
Mm.
apprenticeship. It's like when you first become shodan, right? That you're
Mm.
an apprenticeship black belt. You finish the initial apprenticeship. Now you're a newly
Mm.
born belt, and okay, you can be remolded and you start a new journey. With Yondan, because you're still at the rank of sensei, but you're that link between Godan and Sandan, right?
Right.
So you're really starting an apprenticeship towards the next challenge, which is the next grading you do. So now it's like within that sensei rank, how do you prepare yourself for that next part of your journey?
Us.
But also, how do you act as a role model for the newly graded
Yeah.
Sundance
Us.
as well? Because then that'll filter down to the Niduns because they'll be looking at the Sunduns. So, you know, it's like when remember when we were green belts and you could taste you almost knew what brown belt tasted like because it
Sure.
was so close.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
like
Yep.
some
Yep.
people say that, you know, to me, it was sort of like, wow, yeah, that's achievable. That's where I want to be. I'm not looking at black belts.
Right.
Like that was still an impossibility to me. But a brown belt, yeah, I think I can get there.
Mm.
Okay, I want to be like that one. I don't want to be like that one, but I want to be like that one. Okay, that's my role model, you know, and that's the same amongst all ranks. So you're always looking at the next one. So now for you, it's like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
going to grow into this grade. I'm going to add value to it as I grow into it. But then, okay, somewhere down the line in the future, I'll be asked again to do another grading. And
Mm.
so in the back of your mind, you're going, okay, well, how do I need to prepare myself to get one step closer each day, each year? And I mean, that's
Yeah.
how we set
Appreciate it.
goals, right? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Appreciate it. Great summary.
really, really good gradings from everyone. Yeah, really good.
Well, yeah, there you go. Yeah, again, we try to keep it within an hour because we could,
Yeah,
like we
yeah.
do the other night, before you know it, you look at the clock and you're like, Jesus. But it deserved a recap. We did say that,
Mm,
just for those out
mm.
there. I couldn't catch Shihan Sean in regards to time. And then I said, maybe we might just do it on the phone. And that's how
Yeah.
keen we were to do it. But you can't give it justice until you're there. And
Well, these international events are just full of so many curveballs and
yeah,
last minute changes. And I mean, the beautiful thing, okay, we've sort of dismantled the tournament and we've
yeah,
debriefed on that. But hats go off to the Japanese for
yeah,
again, it doesn't matter what organization, what faction you're with, and the fact that all the upper crust, as I call them, all the Japanese, there's one big change I've seen. So if I was to summarize my sort of
mm,
impression of the weekend in terms of organization, again, yeah, except for when we arrived early and we didn't know which entrance we should go into, shit happens.
mm,
But everything after that was okay. We
that's-
knew when things were happening. It,
yeah,
it ran like clockwork,
it
and
did.
they do a great job of doing
Yeah,
that. So hats off to them for that.
absolutely.
Um, and I guess talking about the upper crust, I would say it was so nice to see all these different factions
Mm,
coming together.
yeah,
And as Hasegawa Soshi said that this is his 56th year.
yeah,
Um, and he could have been a real prick if he wanted to be,
sure,
because he's up there, he's at the top, he's at the
sure.
very top. but he's never been like that. He's a hard ass. He's strict,
Yep.
but just the way him and Tabata Shihan and
Yep.
Shinoe Shihan and Koi Shihan
Yep.
and all the other representatives from different factions, Take Shihan and
Yep.
Mizoguchi Shihan, all of these people
Yeah.
showed a mutual respect for each
Yep.
other during the tournament,
Yep.
at the reception party.
I
It was
felt that.
like old mates getting together.
It was.
That's an excellent role model for the rest of us.
It,
You know,
it
like
was. Yeah,
why
it
can't
was.
we do that
I felt it.
worldwide?
I'm lucky I know who you're talking about, but for those out there, you have to keep in mind these lads, these wise men, I call them, are in different parts of Japan. They're not hanging out together. They're in way different parts, north, south, east, west.
Yeah.
They run their own prefecture, regions, territories, and they have to dominate them and they have to create their own champions. And then those champions have just rocked up on the weekend and we're talking about some of our kind of anxiety and pressures and things. You could feel that part of it with the fighters as well, that they don't want to let their Shians down. And then those Shians are on the table and their students are now, so like Miyagi Shihan, who I caught up with, who I fought in, you helped me interpret that one. Thank you. Thank you again. We fought in '08 in Okinawa. He was a Sandan. I was a fresh Shodan. Now he's 6, I think. And I'm now 4, meaning that was '08 and then 2024. And then I showed him that photo. And my point was he's Shishinohe's student.
Yeah, he's his second in charge. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Right. So really cool.
But they could all sit in the same room.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that was the beauty of it. It's a bit like if anyone's interested in Japanese history, Japan in the 1600s went through about up until the 1600s. So in the late 1400s to 1600s, and forgive me if I'm got the dates wrong here, but there was a warring state where, and it's sort of like everyone's trying to get each other's land and dominate the world. And then Japan came together as one. It kind of equates to that a bit, where everyone said, okay, yeah, we've all got these bells and whistles and titles and organizations, and we could happily stay within our own little worlds and, just have a feel-good moment every day within that secluded world. But no, we're going to put that all aside. We're going to try and come together, create something that's a blueprint for the future, where people, they keep that autonomy that they've created, but then they decide, well, this is where we have common goals. This is where we have a common standard. Okay, let's create a common tournament. But then we can all go back to our own afterwards and come together when we need to. Perfect world for everyone. There's no power play. There's no politics. I didn't hear a word of politics throughout the weekend.
And
there's not a lot that gets past me because I've got to know that. And that's the one thing that turns me off. Didn't get a whisper of it. So great, I think a great sort of future ahead. And who knows, these All Japan champs eventually could very much turn into a unified world champs.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Exciting. I think that's where they've seen, by letting foreigners in this time, because they weren't too keen the last time, by letting foreigners in, that was kind of a test run for them. They see it works well. I think it's going to expand more, and who knows, we might get a unified world championships out of it one day.
Absolutely, man. There you go. Nice bow tie. Nice job, Shihan. And again, for those to appreciate, it was 4 to 5 days of just, heaven to an extent, but then you get back home and reality kicks you right in the nuts.
Oh, yes. Yes.
They're 4, 7, and 10 years old. But love to all. Thanks for the support. The post that we're doing, I got to just say one last thing. The post that we're doing that I do, I just want to promote Kyokushin. I just want others to try it. I want others to see that there is a platform out there that can take you to a different world, a different challenge. And yes, there's a bit of, showing yourself off. And I go, I don't give a shit about that. I'm now here to share with others what Sosai would have done and what all the other Shihans are doing on social media too. Proud as punch for being a part of something that was united or that is working towards a common goal. But for the individuals out there that follow our channel and that think, shit, you know, I did a post on LinkedIn, which is my work life, but I sacrificed my personal life and put up the belt that the photo of me and Soshi to show others, because others kind of go, what? So you work and have a
And you do all
family
this other stuff on the
and have
side.
come up with this shit? Now, ego aside, it's like, yeah, but I honor that. Others
Yeah.
do that. And if they
Yeah.
don't want to share it, that's fine. But I've fallen in the trap of people messaging me going, mate, you've inspired me. That's great. And I'm like, well, great. That makes me feel fucking good. And then if that's what all the medicine I need for the day, I'll take it. I'll take
Yeah.
it and I'll pass it on as best as I can. And that's where that comes from.
And your achievement is it's a combination of your hard work and determination and your motivation. But you know, in Budo, without all the other people that choose to turn up on the day in the dojo and train with us and pressure us to be better instructors, to lead by example, not only in terms of instruction, but technique wise as well. Without those people taking their time out of the day to be there, we wouldn't be able to do what we do, and we wouldn't be pushed to move forward. So a big thanks to everyone that supported you, that supported everyone involved in this one part of that journey. And if it inspires others to give it a crack, then you know you've got a good support group waiting to help you achieve your goals. You know, us. Well
Shihan, great talking, and thanks to everyone. Appreciate it. And we look forward to the next episode. Thanks, Shihan Sean. Big us, everyone. Us, everyone. Have a great time. Keep training hard. Us.